A knock at the walk-up window pulled her from her musings, and Edie turned, instantly brightening. "You're here early." The woman on the other side of the window smiled and shrugged one shoulder, a move that made Edie swoon a little. "It's a nice night out. I thought I'd take my time on my walk to work. Enjoy the fresh air." Edie didn't know the woman's name, even though she'd been frequenting the coffee shop for the past couple of months. She'd been too tongue-tied to ask. She was certain that she'd open her mouth to ask, and what would come out instead was, "Marry me and have my babies." All she knew was that the woman worked as a nurse at the hospital a block over, and that she bought the other night shift staff coffees on a near-nightly basis. "The usual?" Edie asked, cursing herself for not making more conversation. "Please." The way she said the single word made Edie blush, as her mind immediately conjured images of much more fun scenarios where she might hear that word. She nodded once, took a breath that didn't seem to fill her lungs, and set to work filling the 4 to-go cups with coffee and tucking cream and sugar packets between the beverages on the tray. Then she handed the tray of coffee through the window while imagining the softness of the woman's porcelain skin, which appeared flawless beneath the dim glow of the shop lights. "You know," Edie blurted, "you should come in and sit down for a coffee one of these days." The woman smiled and leaned in as she said, "Maybe you'll properly invite me in sometime." Edie didn't know what to say to the strange reply, though she was fairly certain it had been said in a flirtatious manner. Was she waiting for Edie to ask her out? Should she take the chance? Was she going to humiliate herself and never see this woman again? "Thanks for the coffee," the night shift nurse said, and she smiled in a way that twisted Edie's stomach in knots. Edie managed to stammer an awkward, "Have a good night," before the woman was gone, and she was left standing at the window with a silly half-grin on her face. "You should ask her whether she conscribes to dualism or materialism," Blake said. "I always find that to be an effective icebreaker and a good way to get to know somebody. And if she doesn't know what you're asking about, you can save yourself a great deal of time from the start." "Thanks," Edie said, "but I think I'll start by asking her name." Then she added a wistful, "One of these days."